Oh, that's loud. Well, hello and welcome to week one of week four of the weekly roundup for the Louisiana Revolution. I am your host, Jess, Otis Boudreaux. You know, life happens. My plan was to do this every week and, just things happen. I wasn't able to do it. So we're going to catch up. We're going to do weeks 1 through 4 today. And then I'm going to make sure I got time now that things have kind of settled down to do this on a weekly basis to recognize the contributions on the field of the Louisiana Revolution. I think this is a really good way for some of the players that don't get the recognition maybe during the game to know that we see what they're doing. The way this is done, I meet with the team captains. We discuss the game and decide who we want to award helmet stickers and a game ball to. Helmet stickers, kind of the idea with this is just a contribution that we see on the field to the team's success. So we can award as many or none if we want to. And the game ball is kind of a upper tier of that. This is the contribution we think that was just instrumental in how the team does. And we look at stats, we discuss the game. There's a lot of different factors that we bring into this. And as you will probably realize, I'm recording this on a Saturday morning. And of course, I have to have my Louisiana Revolution. Let me show the right side here. Cup, where's it at? There we go. My Louisiana Revolution cup. In the back here, I've got my Louisiana helmet. I've got stickers on the way. I'm not going to put them on my helmet, but I've got stickers on the way that kind of will represent what we're doing here. So with no further ado, I guess let's go ahead and get started with this. First off, who are the team captains? If you've seen the social media, the 3 team captains we have this year are myself for special teams, and for offense is our rookie quarterback, Tommy Utah. And for defense is the man himself, Mr. Cadillac style, Mr. Leonard Butler Sr. So the 3 of us, like I said, we meet, we discuss the game, make our picks on this. And so I'm going to go ahead and run through these. These are probably not going to be as detailed as game recaps and everything as I normally would do, just for brevity's sake. I kind of like with my students, I don't think y'all want to sit and listen to me rattle on for an hour. So here we go. Week 1 was a home opener for us. The new stadium didn't go the way we wanted. We played the Carolina Skyhawks. We lost 17-31. That game was tough. Went down 31-0 at the half. The first half, we just couldn't get the offense rolling at all. Second half, though, we picked our game up. So with that, the first helmet sticker that we're going to award for the Louisiana Revolution on offense is going to go to our running back, Reggie Streeter. We didn't have a lot of production, but he played a big part in that for us. He had 19 carries for 55 yards, not a typical Reggie Streeter day, but he also punched it into the end zone twice for us. And he added to the receiving side of things as well with 6 catches for 51 yards. The helmet sticker for defense, we went back and forth on this. And what we decided to do, if you watch that game, it's a game of 2 halves. As I said, we go down 31-0 in the first half, and it was just bad. I mean, bad things. Twin Screw fumbled a punt return, and it was returned for a touchdown. I don't think I've ever actually seen that happen. I mean, that's one of the ways that they scored on us. It was just fluke plays, bad timing, and just getting the pieces together. But the second half, the defense shut them out. They didn't score a point the second half. And so we decided to give the helmet sticker for defense to the whole defense, because that second half, after that first half, where we went down 31-0, the second half they pitched a shutout. The game ball, we're going to award for that first game to Tommy Utah. First game in a Louisiana uniform, got a lot of hype. I mean, the guy won the championship in the minors, comes in with a lot of expectations, and he holds up his end of the bargain because he goes 28 of 33, 244 yards, no touchdowns, but also no interceptions. So to come in first game right out of the gate, 28 to 33, 244 yards and no picks, you can't argue with that. Yeah, it was a loss, but we still saw some positives there. So we kind of commiserated in the locker room. We discussed how we were going to fix this and do a better job. The second week saw us travel to Charleston to take on the Predators. Once again, we weren't successful. We lost that one 23-27, much closer, but we weren't able to pull out the win. So when we looked at that one, once again, we looked to see contributions on the field to help our success. Even though we weren't successful, we were. If you look at the progression the team is making, the helmet sticker for that one on offense, once again, goes to Reggie Streeter. I mean, if you know anything about the league, you know Reggie is a legend within himself. He's pretty much a lock for the Hall of Fame when he decides to go that route. He had 26 carries, 182 yards, and 2 touchdowns, 4 receptions for 29 yards. On defense, it is going to go to defensive tackle Luther Gond. He had 2 sacks in that game. Yeah, it was a pretty even. I mean, the score of 23-27 tells you how balanced this was. The game ball this time is going to go to one of the new members of the Louisiana Revolution, linebacker Brian Craven, the coach. He was the leading tackler for the team. He had 12 tackles, 1 assist, and 1 tackle for loss. Even after that, you didn't, if you were in the locker room, you didn't see anybody down on the team. We were still supporting each other. We were still discussing how we could get better. And there was still a positive vibe there. And obviously it's leading into the convention. A lot of people excited about that going there. But even then, those of us that weren't able to make it to the convention, you still heard this positive note in everything that we're doing. Week 3, our game at the convention, we were away again, and we faced the Vancouver Legion. And everybody knows Vancouver is a consistently a good team. It was going to be a challenge for us with them. And unfortunately, we lost again, 34-41. And the 3 of us kind of said, and after 3 losses in a row like that, you kind of start, you can't help it, start kind of second guessing yourself, start wondering what we're doing wrong. How can we support each other to turn this around? And so the decision that we came to, because ironically, even after all this, there was no negativity in the locker room. After 3 losses, 2 of them close, there was no negativity. So what we decided to do is give a helmet sticker to the whole offense. They never gave up. And give a helmet sticker to the whole defense because they never gave up. And this team saw not a lot of change, but they brought in Tommy Utah in the draft. They brought in Chance Wall in the draft. They brought in, names just went right out of my head. The new defensive back. I apologize. It just went, and that's the disadvantage of being a teacher. Names do that to you. But then they brought in the Steel or the Hall with Doug Day and Craven, and oh my gosh, did it again, the fullback. Brought in myself. A lot of movement there. Moved Mr. Leonard Butler Sr. from the offensive line to defensive end. And so we had to get those pieces to work together as a team. But we never gave up. And so the game ball for week 3, we decided to award to our owner and general manager, Ross Napoli, the general manager, and Gerald Smith, our owner, because we're not going to give up. This is a thriving, supportive locker room. And all of this stuff that was going on, I unfortunately had to go into the hospital and have surgery. Other people had personal crises that came up. And we were people that I really didn't even know that well, through the locker room, through the team, were sending me messages, making sure I was okay, checking on my wife. And it never stopped, no matter what the score was on the field. Gerald and Ross brought in a diverse group of people together that even after 3 losses, being 0-3, we're still supportive. We're still there. And so we decided to award the game ball for week 3 to them. Week 4 saw us come home, and we were going to face the Lone Star Glory. Finally, we got our first win, 37-24. And if you watch the game, it was the score really wasn't reflective of how the game went. It was a pretty kind of lopsided game, in my opinion. The helmet sticker that we awarded on offense for this one is to the tight end B.E. Robo. 6 catches, 118 yards. 2 of those were touchdowns. I mean, that's huge. Helmet stickers on defense, we actually decided to award 3 of them. The first one goes to defensive end Derek Ginkgo. He had 2 sacks, a total of 3 tackles for loss. The second one goes to our rookie defensive tackle Chance Wall for 3 sacks. And the third one goes to defensive end Leonard Butler Sr., Mr. Cadillac Style himself. He also had 3 sacks. The game ball for week 4, we had to award it to the front 7, the defensive front 7. They had a total of 9 sacks in that game. You can't move the ball when the quarterback's on his back. I mean, it just doesn't work that way. And I lost track of the number of quarterback pressures that we saw there, hurries and stuff. And so this is what we do. This is how we play. So that's where the game ball goes with that one. We finally get in the win column. Week 5, we are coming back home again, and we're going to be hosting the DC Dragons. DC is 2-2. They're a good team. I've watched a couple of their games. As far as point breakdowns, they're at a -3 right now. They have scored 127 and had 130 scored against them. Even with 3 losses, they've been close because we've scored 111 and had 123 scored against us, so a point difference of 12. I think this is going to be a lot closer game than people are going to give it credit for. I hope that we get the win with this. Who knows? I mean, we all know how this game plays out. The thing to remember is, and we know this, we're a team. We win as a team and we lose as a team. And I have not seen anybody turn on anybody. I have not seen anybody say anything negative. It's been supportive. And that's what I love about this league. I hope that week 5, I can say that we've moved to 2-3 and we've turned this ship around and we're going to be sailing into the playoffs. But who knows? But no matter what, we're in it together. So this was the weekly wrap up for the Louisiana Revolution that covered weeks 1 through 4. Hopefully this is kind of the indication that now that I'm doing this, we're going to get more wins. I'll take the blame if that's what we need to do for those 3 losses. Thank you for joining in. Thank you for listening. I hope that you have a great day and a successful week, and we'll see you back next week. Y'all take care.